This time on the Cheetah Diaries. Problems with the big move permits.
Well, if we don't open, we're not going to have trade at Spear, we're not going to have trade here.
Fussy eaters. The cubs get their first taste of meat.
I hope she's not a vegetarian.
And little Col is rushed to the vet.
There's several possibilities in very young cats like this.
Opening day at the new facility is approaching fast. Tensions are running high. The team need to start moving animals from Spear to their new home at Paardevlei, or cheetah outreach could be in jeopardy. But they can't begin without permits from Cape Nature. Having failed the last inspection, they're desperate to be ready for the next one.
So if we do, say, 5 meters apart,
Yeah.
you think that will be, and then hut, which will be, it's what, about 2 by 1.5?
Yeah. So if they build it on the same design, the shelter would be, I guess, you know, the same as what you see the width between these two poles.
So shall we quickly go get where we want the next one in?
Yes.
And then we can do the other one.
We've obviously all been under a lot of pressure over this last week or so to get these camps up. We've never had electric fencing before, so we had to now go into getting quotes and get it up and get the inspector out again. So we've all been under a lot of stress to get this going.
But everything should be up and running by end day tomorrow, because we're hoping we've got a big launch on Thursday night, and everything needs to be smoothly done and all the snags worked out by then.
The repercussions of us not getting a permit to move the other animals, the older animals, it's going to be chaotic. Furthermore, if we don't open, we're not going to have trade at Spear, we're not going to have trade here.
When the inspector arrived last time, everything went wrong.
I'm just looking at the enclosure, the height of the fence, all the specifications of the fence and inside, according to our fence specifications. So this enclosure is not finished?
Well, it will be tomorrow.
I actually need to see the finished one.
If we don't get ourselves up and going, we're going to have nobody over there. We're going to have people pitching up here because it's all in the press. I mean, we're going to have no turnover.
I'm sorry, I can't speak on anyone's
Will
behalf.
things go right this time?
Appreciate your time and effort and driving out all this way for this. We've just finished with the Cape Nature inspection. She promised to get the transport permit issued as quickly as possible. We're hoping first thing tomorrow morning.
So Liesel's just been at the new facility this morning doing the final inspection.
Hi Dawn, how are you?
Well, and you, how did the inspection go this morning?
Very well, we passed. We're all set to start moving animals soon.
Awesome. So what's the plan for today?
Well, I think we're just going to start off by feeding all of them as normal. Then we'll move the 2 single cheetah boys, Joseph and Chobi. Come back for the 2 sets of brothers afterwards, and we'll have a separate team on small animals, start with the easy ones, foxes probably, leave the servals for last, and just try and get all of them over as quickly as possible so they can start settling in.
Many of the animals are going to find the move stressful. The team may be feeling the pressure, but they'll need to remain calm.
So it's been a very hectic week, very hectic weekend. We're all quite tired, but at least now, having the permit in hand, it was all worth it. And it's such a big relief just being able to now go forward, start moving the animals, and start our new life over on the other side. Okay.
Maintaining routine before the big move is important for the animals. So it's breakfast as usual for Malika the caracal.
I don't think Malika knows we're moving yet. She's still as eager for her food and as rambunctious as always. Malika is very eager for food. She loves her food, so it doesn't last very long. All finished. Ooh, look at her. So also we've had some issues with her because she inhales her food so much that she's become a choking hazard. That's why I throw it and spread it around a bit, just to make sure that she doesn't take one big mouthful and try and swallow it all at the same time. But she's got a much bigger enclosure that side, so that's going to be exciting for her. She's got a nice platform built with little stepping ladders up and everything. So I think she's going to love it.
It looks like the impatient foxes know something is up.
It's always fun and games when it comes to these guys feeding. Okay, wait. There's three little ones. I just need 3 little ones. Woo! Come, Brad. Brad, stop stealing your baby's food. Brad, come.
But the introduction of the fox box has helped to create a ceasefire.
The craziness is not going to last very long because the 3 younger ones are leaving at some point. We don't know exactly when yet. But then also now going to a new place. Also a bigger enclosure, yay! For the 5 of them, it's going to be exciting for them. Probably still going to be the same at feeding time. That's not going to change anything much. They're still going to be the crazy bunch they are. But hey, it makes for a lot of entertainment in the morning.
Okay, let's see how these babies are doing.
While all the other animals are getting ready to move home, the new cubs are just settling into theirs.
So we're just preparing for a feed. Found in the past years that when we're very first starting with our feeding, they obviously don't know what we're doing with the bottle, so they struggle against us. And I've ended up with very scratched hands where we hold the bottle. So I have my new ingenious fingerless glove plan. Yeah, we're doing a little bit of Michael Jackson here with our single glove. So obviously we just arrived with the cubs yesterday, so everything's still pretty new for them. They've had a few feeds with us now, so they're starting to become a bit more comfortable in our presence. But as you can see, there's still the occasional hissing, but the boys are doing remarkably well in terms of socialisation and starting to accept us.
Dinner time, yeah. We've clipped patches for now on their fur because they all look pretty similar. So Cole's got a clip patch over his collar and Brock's got one over his bum and Yah hasn't got one at all.
The position we're looking for these guys when we're feeding, we're trying to mimic as much as we would in the wild. So they'll be paddling on mum to get the milk to come down. But just because we try to achieve it doesn't mean anything. He's going to have his whole bottle in a second.
Pretty much.
So, yeah, that was great.
Yeah, we did have the whole bottle.
Yeah.
Wow. Sorry.
I think you're hungry, darling. I think Yell's issue is his personality. And I don't mean that in a negative way, but he's very feisty, explorative, confident, so he's more likely to not want to do what he's told, as it were. He's the one who's always wandering further than everyone. He's much more vocal than everyone, so has been very well named, if I say so myself. You got a milk kitchen. Milk beard.
Back at Cheetah Outreach, the big move is finally underway.
We'll load the foxes first. We're going to use Lester's special fox skills to get them all in one crate.
Luckily, these greedy foxes love food. And by appealing to their stomachs, Lester proves that you can outfox a fox.
No, don't keep anybody out. There we go, yay! Mission accomplished.
And that's the first of the animals locked, loaded, and ready to go. The cubs have done well with the bottle. Now Emily is introducing them to meat. At this age in the wild, Mum would start sharing her kill with the cubs.
Supplements that we use are thiamine, copper, calcium and predator powder, which is a mixture of vitamins and minerals.
First to try are the girls, Elsa and Zingula. Just how will they get on with a bowl of Emily's meatballs?
She's got it.
Too bad Elsa's not paying any attention.
Hello. So in this room we seem to have the best eater so far and the worst eater so far. Elsa wasn't at all interested. Usually they get over that once they get a good sniff of the meat, and once they've had their first taste, it's normally they're away. But she didn't want to. So I had the meat right up against her nose, but even then she didn't want it. So we'll just take it away and we'll try it again at a later on feed today and see if she is a bit keener. I hope she's not a vegetarian. I've had enough vegetarian cheetahs to last my lifetime.
With the smaller animals on their way, it's time for the cheetah ambassadors to begin their move. Superstar Joseph is first to go, and he has a special friend keeping him company on his journey.
Okay, now I just need to find that key where I put it.
I'm the owner of Joseph. We bought him 10 years ago by passion and also to share experience with the cheetah outreach. At the time, I had to bond with him and his brothers. We've shared many things for 10 years, so I did want to be present the day he's moving to his new home. I'm definitely excited about the new center. Knowing that he's going to be by the sea is also very uplifting.
And after Joseph comes Chobi.
They can sense something is up. There's a lot of commotion. Things are unfamiliar this morning. You know, lots of people doing weird things. So I think they were a little bit reluctant coming down and being loaded, not sure what's going on. But they're all in now and we're ready to go and hopefully be back for the next load very quickly.
Emily has given up on vegetarian Elsa. Now it's time to see how the boys, Broch, Cole and Yell, deal with the meatballs.
Try him. Let's see what he does. What's this one? Ooh. Oh, hissing bull, hissing bull. Oh, what's that?
How the cubs react will tell Emily something about their personalities. If they are to become cheetah ambassadors, they'll need a confident reaction to this unfamiliar offering.
Very good first reaction. Yeah. Seems to be maybe hold it a bit closer to his face so that he knows that there's something in this one. But be aware that he'll probably be scared of the hole. Cole's doing wonders. So much for Odell Suckle to me. He's straight in there.
I know, that's amazing.
He knows what to do.
The boys have outdone themselves, and it looks like Emily has no more vegetarians.
Hello, Candy Girl.
Serval Mum Legacy and her 2 kittens, Legend and Sphinx, have just arrived at their new home. The Servals are Liesel's favourites, and she's anxious to see them settle in.
They're actually doing slightly better than what I expected. I was worried they're going to be running up and down and really pacing badly and running into fences and all sorts of things, but they've so far just basically scouted out the area. They're not settled by any means, but they're not as anxious as I was afraid they would be.
They may not be anxious now, but how will they feel when their new neighbours, the jackals, move in? With feeding time over, Emily makes an assessment of the cubs.
Cole's personality has really changed from the beginning. When he initially came, he was the real shy, sort of retiring loner type. He'd take himself off into the corner and sit with his little sad expression on his face by himself. And he's really come out of his shell in the last maybe 4 or 5 days. Been really playful and doing really well with feeding and that kind of thing.
But then Emily notices something worrying about Cole's urine.
It's not normal for there to be any blood there.
With cubs so small, any hint of infection could be fatal. And Emily rushes Cole to the vet. She's brought along Brock and Yell to support their brother.
So there's only one to look at today.
How old are they now?
They're 5.5 weeks.
This urine sample, did it come off the tile floor?
Yeah, but that should have been fairly clean.
C-O-L-L.
Obviously, I've had a quick look at the back. I couldn't see anything obvious, any bleeding from the area.
Fine. All right. Let me go have a look at that urine sample.
Okay.
Hopefully that will give us the answer.
You're doing very well. Each time he goes to the toilet, there is some blood in it, and we managed to get a sample, so we've kept that and brought that through so that they can have a look at that and see.
At Paardevlei, Malika is checking out her new home.
She is quite feisty, and it is part of her personality. She gets stressed quite quickly, and there's certain people that she likes much more than others, probably. And it takes a while for new people to get to know her and to trust as well. Luckily, they're nice.
Today, the foxes will move next door.
Look at your nice new home, darling. There's the baby.
Oh well, there goes the neighbourhood.
That one's already started scratching a little bit. They'll settle down quite quickly, I think, because there's a lot of them. They're not on their own. And they're nice big space for them, so yeah, much bigger than they had. And they can see much further and everything else. Okay, well, it's time to head back. Go and load some other animals and finish off here.
Let's hope that good fences will make good neighbours. At the vet, they're trying to discover what's wrong with boy cub Cole.
There's several possibilities in very young cats like this. The most common remains infection by far. So not a typical cystitis, so we just want to check out some other possibilities as well. We're going to try and do an ultrasound, depending if you'll allow it.
A sick young cub is Emily's worst nightmare. Hopefully the ultrasound will help the vet make a diagnosis.
Oh, it's cool. It's okay, Mama. He's a good boy.
I can see that there's a bit of blood in the urine. Despite the fact that we didn't see an overwhelming infection, he needs to go on to antibiotics at this stage. So we'll put him on antibiotics for a while and see if we can clear it up.
A little bit concerned about the discussion we had, just because we don't really know what's going on at the moment. We just need to see how he goes over the next few days. Hopefully within a day or two, it should start to clear up.
Cheetah ambassadors Chobe and Joseph are on the road to their new home.
We've been looking forward to this day for a very, very long time and preparing for it and getting things in order. In terms of the cheetahs, it's been fairly easy. Luckily, they're all very well trained to just walk over to the vehicle on a lead and collar, drive in the back of the vehicle, so we don't need to hassle about crating them or anything like that. The small animals is always a bigger concern. They're more nervous, they're more difficult to travel, they have to be crated. It's exhausting, but it is exciting. It's the beginning of a new time for Cheetah Outreach, and a time I think that will be very successful, and I'm sure will grow much bigger, and things will be really, really great on the new site.
It's the end of a long day, but the beginning of a new era for Cheetah Outreach.
Okay, I've got the leads on. Okay, you ready? You got one? I've got one. Here we go. Let's go, my boy. We were ready for a leap out and then it comes to...
It's certainly lovely to see him in his new enclosure and already having a look around and settling in. It's going to be very nice by the end of today to see all these camps filled with cheetahs.
Let's get Joe ready for his new home. He's ready to go. He says, "Get me out of my vehicle, please." Let's go. Come. There we go. Good boy. Joseph, you're in your home. So Joseph is obviously what you would call the ideal ambassador. Right now, he is one of the most important assets to Cheetah Outreach. Looks like he's going to have a good home and he's going to enjoy it.
All right, there we are. New home, but he doesn't look stressed at all. I think he's going to be just fine here. Hey, Joseph?
So everyone is settled in. Or are they? Two little animals are missing. Meerkats Sebastian and Minky have been left behind.
The meerkat enclosure is going to take a lot more work. It's a very complicated design to make it dig-proof and very labour-intensive putting it up. So unfortunately, they're still going to have to wait another week or so before they come through.
All in all, it's been a very good day for Cheetah Outreach.
We're all very pleased, we're all excited, we're all dead tired, but happy to, at long last, have some animals here and looking forward to a very bright future.
Next time on the Cheetah Diaries. His adoring public may be waiting, but where is Ambassador Joseph?
Sometimes they will be just awesome, get up, walk straight out, and some days you won't get them in the car, so...
Seb and Minky get feisty.
So, I don't come in with the meerkats very often.
The Fox boys gang up on Brad.
And even though Brad is older, they don't care. It's whoever biggest.
There's tension at the fence line.
They're not settled by any means.
So she would hiss at her quite a bit. It's the kittens really fascinate her, though.
And tragedy strikes the servals.
Everybody's in a real state of shock about this horrible, horrible thing to have happened.